Hey Sam, how do you work on editing projects that you don't give a about, but that pay well? This is actually really interesting. Thank you for the question, Adam, my student from the academy. So I remember when I first started video editing, I started on the website Fiverr, which, if you know anything about Fiverr, it's not really the best place to scale, let's say that, right? There's a lot of very cheap labor, bad work on there. It gets a bad rap, really, but that's where I started. And I wasn't charging much money for my services at this point, much like everyone else on that platform. But one day, I actually hit a mini jackpot, or what I thought was a mini jackpot. I got my first 3-digit project. So I was getting paid over $100 to edit some stream highlights for a League of Legends streamer. And this stuff was right up my alley as well, because I was editing this sort of stuff for my own YouTube channel at the time. So I was really happy. I honestly thought, like, holy shit, let's go. Like, obviously knowing what I know now, $100 for a video is actually nothing, and he probably actually underpaid me, considering students of mine are getting paid $2,000 per video. Nevertheless, at the time, this was a huge win for me, so I was excited to take on the project. But when I started editing the footage in my Premiere Pro, I was just watching through it, and I was just like, weirdly cringing inside of my own head, thinking like, this guy is probably streaming on Twitch 14 hours a day, and he thinks he's the next XQC or something. And he wasn't even that good at streaming. He wasn't really funny at all, you know? So here I am trying to put together this masterpiece with footage from a guy who I find just kind of cringe. And in his head, he was probably thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking Twitch streamer. I have these goals and I wanna achieve this. But I could not align myself to that because I just thought it was ridiculous. I didn't think he had a chance in hell of making it as a Twitch streamer. I don't think he was entertaining enough. I think it's an insanely competitive market. And I think a lot of the top Twitch streamers are ruthlessly smart. And I think this guy was just a young dude who just had the airy-fairy idea in his head of like, oh yeah, I'll just stream me playing games on Twitch and make a living that way. Not as simple as that though. So what did this lead to? You know, I'm editing this video and I just think it's a bit like gay, a bit cringe. Well, it led to good work. It was okay, you know, and when I sent the project back to him, he was really happy with it. He was over the moon with it, actually. But I knew in my head that it was not great work, you understand? I did not go above and beyond to try and make something which would really make him stand out in his ultra competitive space. So while he was happy with it, and he was happy to pay me the $100 or so, and he wanted to work with me again, I actually declined working with him again at this point, because I understand that to truly start to make good money, you have to be excellent at what you do. And a lot of the top 1% improvements that you can make with your skill set and with specific projects is the mindset behind things. And my mindset behind this was, this is kind of gay. And with how competitive the market is for attention for Twitch streamers, the work I was producing, quite frankly, was not going to push the envelope. It wasn't gonna bring new people into his stream. Like I say, it was good content and his regular viewership would really, really enjoy it, but it's not extraordinary, you know? And I truly believe if you do want the selfish desires, you want the money, you want the fame, then that comes after making impact, right? I didn't see myself able to make much impact at all by continuing to work with this guy. And that's a lesson I learned. Even though this was the highest paying gig I had got so far, I decided against continuing it because I felt like I'd be doing a disservice to him, because he could get an editor who really fucking loves him and believes he's going to be the next XQC, and he would probably do a better job than me over the long term. And it was a disservice to me because I realized that I wasn't going to be able to make an impact with this guy, and that means I'm probably going to be plateaued at $100 per video for however long I continue working with him. So if you want to make serious money doing whatever but video editing, right, you have to transcend being good to be great, to be excellent. Because if you're good, then you're competing with everyone else who is good, okay? And in an oversaturated market, right? You could point at any market and say it's oversaturated, okay? But it's oversaturated with good talent, you understand? You know what is oversaturated? Laziness. I'm getting off topic, but I had the luxury of not really having any responsibilities at that time in my life, so I was able to turn away clients like that, even though once again it was only $100 per video, which is in hindsight, absolutely nothing, right? But my advice to anyone in this scenario has 3 levels to it, okay? The best thing that you can do is to transcend the need for any money that you could gain on the short term from the project that you're working on, which you're not passionate about, and to just realize that you're playing the long game and you're actually wasting your time on this offer working with this client who you don't really care about. Because to become excellent, you do truly need to wake up every day and love what you do. But if you're not in a position to straight up walk away from money, which is fair enough, the next best thing you can do is actually just ask for too much money. I say too much in the sense of basically a sum of money which would actually get you excited to work on this project. Because at least then you'd have some sense of excitement for actually hitting the oil rig, right? And that's what you want. And then at least you can daydream about your one-way flights to Thailand while you're editing. And if you think about it as well, the worst case scenario is they say no, and that's fine because you didn't want to work with them anyway. And the best case scenario is they say yes, and suddenly you have a bunch of money. How awesome is that? And the third option, boys, is to eat shit. I'm going to read a reply from a student of mine, Styles, who's inside of my academy, and saw the question Adam asked, and he made his own response. Styles makes $8,000 a month through video editing inside of my academy, by the way. So please remember, above all, you're editing to make money. I've made thousands making brain rot stupid videos that I don't give a shit about. I've also made thousands from videos I super cared about. This cannot be something that impacts you and your performance. The same way that regardless of your mood, you will always perform. You have to perform regardless if you like the task. Here to get paid, not be entertained. Again, I think in an ideal scenario, you love what you're doing, you're super passionate about it, but sometimes you do need to brute force your way through. I mean, shit, I've had projects where I've been insanely passionate about it, but I have still periods of time where I feel uninspired and I'm in a rut and I'm just, oh, fucking, here we go again. Another fucking Jeffrey jacking off to Cornhub video. Yeah, dude, I can't wait to fucking animate the hand going up and down. And Adonis jacks off to gay porn only because it increases his testosterone. It is what it is. You know, sometimes, even if you are super passionate about what you're doing, you might have like a week, 2-week period of time where you're just like, fuck me, man, I'm burnt out. You know, I need something different. So either way, you are going to run into this resistance, so you do need to learn how to brute force your way through it anyway. So ultimately, it is up to you how you handle these scenarios, but I think we can all agree that the best case scenario that we can all aim for is to create dope shit and get paid. Remember that. Now, boys, if you want my help creating dope shit and getting fucking paid, that's what I do. I get video editors paid their worth. That is my passion, that is my purpose, and I'm very fucking good at it. Now, if you want my help and you want to join a community of absolute fucking killer video editors, you want to change your life, you want to start making some money, you want to gain some sense of freedom, you want to be able to fucking buy groceries so that you can fucking bulk without breaking the bank, you want to feel valuable, you want to add value to the marketplace, you want to mix with your favorite influencers, video editing is the pathway for you, my friend, and I can teach you exactly how to monetize it to make upwards of $5,000 to $10,000 per month. Much like my student Styles, who we just talked about, and much like my student Adam, who asked this question, who's actually in Thailand with me right now at fucking 18 years old. Click the first link in the description right now, check out the offer, see if it's right for you. We have an affordable payment plan now, and hopefully I'll see you soon inside of my academy. Take care, boys.